Hi, this is Uli Scholten. Welcome to the SkyRadar video channel. Let's have another playdate together. I'm sitting locked down in the south of France and I connected myself to our radar, which is placed in our office in Luxembourg. So that shows you how lightweight the communication is and how well you can use that kind of education with our systems for distance learning and for learning after classes when students can connect to the radars from home. I just wanted to show you another feature, which is the 3D A-scope. You remember if you saw our previous classes, that we can assemble block diagrams together. And here, for instance, I started putting a matrix showing not only the range, but also the last set of frames in a matrix that is required for lots of analytics, for instance, when you do FFT. But let's look at it together. And I do that by putting the 3D A-scope. Let's find it because it's new here. Here it is. Let's put that here so that it's well in the screen, and let's put it below so that you can see something. Oh, you see the reflection of the source. Let me show you that in 2D also. A normal A-scope. Let's put a normal A-scope so that we don't show too much muscles in the beginning. So of course I have to go into the input of the A-scope, otherwise it wouldn't work. You see, I mean, just as I said, you see here, you see it? And you see this curve, it's moving. So, you see? There's a little bit of delay because of the bandwidth. So, let's get rid of this incredible peak here. How shall we do that? Let's make it very simple and suppress the source. Let's cut it off. Now it's gone. You see there's a little bit of latency here over the network. Please forgive me that. Talk to my network provider. So, we see that in 3D, yeah? And why do we need that? We want to look at many 3D manipulations, like, for instance, Fast Fourier transform, which we can, of course, also do in 2D. And let's prepare the signal. Dear professors and teachers in radar technology, explain you students why I do that. I want to put a Blackman window here to smoothen the wave, because I'm working with a pulse, and a pulse is too artificially cut to be properly displayed in an FFT, so we run it through the Blackman window. And hey, let's look at the output in another 3D diagram. Let's clean a bit. Let's clean a bit of the screens here. So let's put another 3D diagram here. X, Y, Z. Nothing special. You know what I like with that kind of display here is you can get a feeling for complex stuff, like, for instance, the FFT. That should work, right? It does. Okay. The cracks will be able to explain that now. And we've got lots of possibilities. For instance, you see that mirrored image here, which is typical in the FFT when you move. So there's we could shift the signals in a way that we center the formerly peripheral parts into the center. So we get rid of that mirror and the signal becomes much nicer. And we can change the axis, we can understand the movements, we can discuss them. And you know what I like in that approach here is once we see the signals, we get a feeling for it, we can put our hands on it, we can much easier access the mathematics in it, which looks sometimes really scary, you know, all these equations. But let's be frank, mathematics is nothing else but a language that describes something. And hey, folks, if we've understood it, if we've seen it, the next steps to reading it written down in math is not so difficult anymore. So, guys, folks, let's work this together, let's play, and during the next videos I'll show you more, for instance our spectrometer and some other cool new stuff.